Good evening, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. So, yesterday we had started with our compulsory course or compulsory subject, that is strategic management. In the yesterday's session, we had discussed about what syllabus we are going to take up for discussion during this semester of strategic management, as well as we had started with the concept of strategy, meaning of strategy we had discussed. And today we will be starting with what is strategic management, as well as what are the different forms of levels of strategy. The four levels of strategy we are going to discuss in today's session. So anyone who has read can unmute, and you can just share your views on what is strategic management and what are the four levels of strategy. Because yesterday I had given you a homework that please come prepared for discussion. Anyone who has studied about strategic management or about the four levels of strategy, any strategy, if you have studied, you can unmute and you can share your views on that type of strategy or that level of strategy. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Rohit sir, is my voice clear to all? Yes, am I audible? Now 38 participants are there. Anyone can unmute and give me the confirmation that whether I
Yes,
am audible
Yes,
or
sir.
not.
yes, sir.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay then. Can you see the screen now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Yes. Anyone can unmute about strategic management. Whatever you have studied about strategic management, you can share your thoughts or we will start. Okay. So none of the student got time to do the task assigned or to complete the homework. That shows how interested or how keen you are in learning the new concepts. Very good. So, what is strategic management? Strategic management, I'll just read out what is there on the screen and then we will have the explanation. So, strategic management is what managers do to develop organization strategies. So, that is the meaning of strategic management. That yesterday we had discussed what is strategy, meaning of strategy, and definition of strategy. Now, making strategy, implementing strategy, and monitoring strategy, all this comes under strategic management. So, that is what it says. What managers do to develop organization strategies is called as strategic management. Now, strategies we had discussed yesterday. Now, the business model means how a company is going to make money. So, that is the meaning of business model. Now, why is strategic management important? why we need to learn or understand strategic management. So they have given here the 3 points or the three key points for which we should be aware of what is strategic management. First one is it results in higher organizational performance. It can make a difference in how well an organization performs. Now, for every organization, there are certain objectives. There is a vision statement of the organization as well as mission statement of the organization. Now, for achieving that vision, the organization has to have some strategies that how they will be achieving that vision, which is there in the vision document of the organization. How many employees will be recruited, how the things will move in the organization, who will be taking the decision. All these things are covered under strategic management. Now, second is managers in the organization of all types and sizes face continually changing situation. They cope up with this uncertainty by using strategic management process to examine relevant factors and decide what actions to take. Now, strategic management is not a one time process that once we have prepared a strategy, that particular strategy is going to be there in the organization for years and years together. But strategic management is a very dynamic and flexible type of concept which changes according to the business environment, according to the market situations. We have seen during pandemic how the organization came up with a strategy that we cannot call the employees to the organization, but how we can see to it that still the organization process goes on. And for that, they came up with the idea of remote working or working from home. And all the organization or most of the organization, they came up with this particular strategy that let's provide work to the employees from their work itself with the help of mail, with the help of Zoom, with the help of various other online platform. The organization carried out the functions which earlier used to be carried out in the organization itself. And that is what strategic management is. It is not that once we have prepared some rules or some strategies, that strategies are going to be there as it is without any change for years and years together. So it's a very dynamic type of concept where it changes. Next one, organizations are complex and diverse. Each part needs to work together towards achieving organization's goals. Strategic management helps to do this. Now, here also the same thing, that understanding organization is not very easy. It's a complex thing. Why it's a complex thing? Because we are dealing with machines. We are also at the same time dealing with technology and human beings. So controlling all these human beings, machines, technology, raw material is not very easy. It is a bit difficult. So how to control the organization affairs in a better manner so that we can achieve the goals of the organization, that is to be decided under strategic management. that how we can make things easy for the organization. For that, the study of strategic management is very important. Now we will move on to the four levels of strategy. There are four levels of strategy. First is the corporate level strategy, then the business level strategy, then the organizational functional level strategy, and the operational level strategy. Now, these four strategies are there. Now, in the slide, you can see that four levels of strategies are mentioned. Now, we will discuss one by one what are those strategies. First one is the corporate level strategy. Now, corporate level strategy is concerned with the overall purpose and scope of the organization. It includes its mission, vision, and goals. It involves decisions regarding how to allocate resources across different business units and set up the hierarchical strategy. It means that corporate level strategy is considered as the highest level strategy where the board of directors are involved, where all the policy related decisions or top level decisions are taken. Now, that particular strategy is called as corporate level strategy. Whether the organization is going for merger or acquisition, or they will be launching a new product, or they will be coming up with a new branch, how much resources or how much funds they will be allocating to achieve the goal, all these very important and top level decisions are taken under corporate level strategy, and it is considered as the highest level of the strategy. After corporate strategy comes the business level strategy. Now, under business level strategy, what happens is that it focuses on how business unit within the organization will compete within its industry or market segment. It involves decisions related to positioning, differentiation, and competitive advantage. So, corporate level strategy, we have seen that it is the highest level strategy, making a body which involves the highest level people, that is, board of directors, managing director, or CEO of the organization. The second strategy talks about business level strategy. So, here we can say that after the corporate level comes the business level strategy. Here, the middle level employees or the general managers are involved. Involved in what? Involved in making strategies or taking decisions related to the strategies which are related to the position, the organizational positioning, how the organization can increase its market share, how can organization compete with the competitors. Now, all these type of strategic decisions are taken under business level strategy. So, corporate level, we had say discussed that top level fund allocation, how much fund will be allocated to all the branches of the organization, how many employees will be hired if 3 4 branches are there in a particular branches, who will be the next general manager or CEO of the organization. So these are all very top level decisions. So they are conducted under or they are taken under corporate level strategy. And when we talk about business level strategy, it talks about decisions or strategies related to market segment, related to competition in the market, how we can increase our market share, how we can outperform our competitors. All this is considered under or taken up under the business level strategy. Next one is the functional level strategy. Now, what comes under functional level strategy that we will be discussing? Functional level strategy focuses on how each functional areas in the organization, such as marketing, operation, finance, HR, will contribute to the overall strategic goal, maximizing the effectiveness of all relevant areas. So, functional level is here we are trying to integrate all the departments, that every department should be working hand in hand with the other department. It should not happen that HR doesn't know what marketing is doing and marketing is not aware what the finance people are doing. Now, if such thing happens, we cannot come up with a better strategy. So, what is expected in functional level strategy is all the departments which are there in the organization, they should work hand in hand. HR should be aware what is the financial status of the organization. The finance should be aware that how many people are required, why the people are new employees are required. Marketing should be aware of that how or what are the functionings of the HR and other department, finance department like. So every department in the organization should go hand in hand. And when a strategy is prepared for integration of different departmental works, or which is related to collaboration among the department, that particular strategy is called as functional level strategy. Now, the last or the fourth level strategy is called as operational level strategy. Now, in operational level strategy, what happens is it is concerned with the day to day activities and processes that are necessary to implement the higher level strategies effectively. It involves decisions regarding resource allocation, workflow optimization, and performance management. Now, as the name itself says, operational level strategy, though this is considered as the fourth level strategy, or the last level of strategy which is directly related to the operations part in the organization. Now, in the first, we had discussed that it is the highest level where all the top level decisions are taken. Second, we had discussed in the second level, that is the business level strategy, all the decisions related to how we can grow the business, how we can outperform the uh, competitors, how we can increase the market share. All decisions related to that things are taken under the second level. Third level, we had discussed that it talks about collaboration between one department and other department, and all the departments should work hand in hand so that everyone moves in the same direction. And the last one is whatever decisions have been taken at the first level, that is corporate level, or which is being taken under the second, that is the uh, business level strategy. Now, last level, those decisions are implemented. So, creating strategy is done under the two higher levels, and implementing those created strategy or in the organization on ground level is taken care by the operational level strategy. So these were some the levels of the strategy. So they have given also the first one, the pyramid, which the triangle which you are seeing. In that triangle or pyramid structure, board of director are related to the corporate level strategies. Head of business units, that means departmental heads, they represent the business level strategy. Head of the business functions, that is different departmental heads, which are say representing HR department or packaging department or marketing department. It talks about the functional level strategy, and team leaders and team members, that is supervisors, employees, executives, they form the part of the operational level strategy. So that was related to the four levels of strategy. Now here you can see they have given, now the same concept is there, that is the four levels of strategy, but here which aspect is studied under which level of strategy they have say given in the proper format, which is easy to learn for the student. So the aspects on the left hand column, they have given the aspects. Now under aspects, time frames are given, then scope, then focus area, then matrix or KPI, resource allocation, and examples they have given. Now we will start with the time frames. Now what is the time frame for these strategies? Now meaning we are aware of, now we have already discussed that what is the meaning of these four levels of strategies. Now we will be discussing the same strategies from a different perspective or from different aspect, and one of the aspect is time frame. Now for corporate level strategy, the time frame involves is years to decade. It is related to long term vision. Now vision is a document where the organization writes that how what is the its vision, that after 2 years, after 5 years, after 10 years, we want to see ourselves at the highest position or under top 2 or top 5 in this particular sector. So that could be the vision statement. So preparing vision statement is related to corporate level strategy. So that is why it is called as that corporate level strategy. Time frame for corporate level strategies is years to decades. It can be years, that is 5 years, 6 years, or it can be decades, 10 years or more than 10 years. Now for business level strategy, it talks about the time frame which involves 3 to 5 years, and it is related to competitive position. That okay, the vision of the organization says that after 15 years we want to be, if suppose a automobile organization is there, now the vision document of that organization can be that after 15 years we want to be in top 5 in the whole country after 15 years. Now, to achieve the vision after 15 years, the business strategy, that is the second level, they should come up with the strategy. Okay, the goal is set that we want to be in top 5 players in the whole country in automobile sector. That is for 15 years. It's a very long period. That is the vision of the company. But for achieving that vision, the business level strategy, the time frame for the business level strategy is 3 to 5 years. They have to first check, okay, for achieving that position in top 5, how or what strategy we should be implementing in the organization, what should be the exact output of the organization, how much the sale should be of the organization to achieve that particular vision after 15 years. So all these things are to be decided under the business level strategy, and the time frame given is 3 to 5 years. Next, is the business functional level strategy. Functional level strategies are annual cycles and optimizing functions. Annual cycles means that how and when the performance appraisal will be done, or how the performance of the employees will be evaluated, how it will be evaluated. Generally it takes place in once in a year to check the output of the employee and their productivity. It also helps the organization to understand whether we are moving in the right direction or not. So every organization has certain performance standards set up for all the employees. And during performance evaluation, the organization tries to evaluate the performance of the employee against those set performance standards, whether the employee is able to achieve or match those standards or not. So people who will be matching those standards will be considered as good employee. Employees who will be exceeding the standards set by the organization, whose performance will exceed the target, they will be considered as great employee. And those who will not be able to achieve the target, they will be categorized as the average employee. If more employees are able to meet the set standard by the standard set by the organization, we can assume that the organization is moving in the right direction. Exactly opposite, if most of the employees are unable to achieve the standards set by the organization, we can assume that the organization needs to take some corrective actions, because with this the organization may not be able to achieve the set goal. So that's the reason why it is called as annual cycles. It's a going on process. Next, under time frame is related to operational, is daily decisions and executing strategies. So daily decision making, whatever decisions which are uh, taken at the highest level under the higher strategies. Now those decisions are say broken down into say small targets, because in the vision the organization is having, in the vision they have mentioned that after 15 years we want to be in top 5 in automobile sector in the country. For that, the business level they have prepared a strategy which is related to 3 to 5 years. Then for annual also, the functional level they have prepared the functional level strategy, that they will be doing annual evaluation of employee, they to check, they will be checking the performance or productivity of the employee. Whereas the operational level, it checks the performance, productivity and output of the employee on daily basis. And why they are checking it on daily basis is to make sure that whatever goal which has been set, target which has been set by the organization, that target should be achieved. So daily, when we are daily monitoring the progress of the employee, it comes under the operational level strategy. So that was related to the time frames. So time frame involved in operational is on daily basis. Time frame involved in functional is related to annual cycles. Now, if we talk about the scope aspect of these 4 level strategies, so first, if we talk about the scope of corporate strategy, its scope is entire organization, complete organization. If the organization is having, say, 3, 4, 5, 6 branches spread in different parts, or spread in different cities, or spread in different states, all this is covered under the corporate level strategy because it is the highest level. Next one, for business strategy, yesterday we had talked about one concept which is called as SBU, that is strategic business unit. Now, corporate level, the scope is the entire organization, all the branches of the organization. But when we talk about the business level strategy, it involves individual units. Individual units means each branch can come up with its own strategy to see to it that how it can increase the market share, its market share, how it can outperform the competitors. So in corporate level, the scope is entire organization. In the business level, the scope gets limited to the individual branches. Now, the when we talk about scope of functional strategy, it talks about departmental activities. What all activities the finance department should be doing, the sales department should be doing, the marketing department should be doing. So its scope is related to that functioning of a particular department. And the last one is the scope under operational strategy is steps for teams and smooth operations. Now, how teams are going to function, who will be leading the team, who are going to be the members of the team, what will be the role and responsibility of team leader, and what will be the role and responsibility of the members of the team. All these things are to be decided under the scope of operational level strategy. If we talk about the focus areas, then, and if we want to say come up with examples, the first one, that is the corporate level strategy, its focus areas are growth, acquisition, diversification. That means how the organization is going to grow. If the organization wants to go for diversification, if the organization wants to go for acquisition or merger, all these decisions are taken under corporate level, that we have already discussed. Then the business level strategy, under that competitive strategy and market segmentation, that also we had discussed. The third one is the functional strategy, that is optimizing activities and resources. That means how each department works well in the organization. So every department has certain roles and responsibilities. How these departments are following those or completing those role and responsibility in an excellent manner, that is to be taken care under functional level strategy. And the last one is task, project, and immediate objective. Whatever task has been allocated to the employees of the organization, that every day you should, your output should say be more than 100 units. So at the end of the day, under the functional operational level strategy, it will be checked that how many employees are there and how many employees have outperformed or exceeded the that target of 100 unit. How many have achieved the target of 100 units? How many were close to achieving the target, and how many they were far behind in achieving the target? So on daily basis is taken. Why it is taken on daily basis? So that uh, at the earliest or as early as possible, corrective decisions can be taken up. Next one, if we talk about matrix or KPIs, the corporate level strategy is related to revenue, market share, and return on investment. Again, revenue means that the organization last year was able to earn a profit of these many crores. Next year, the organization will set up a target which will be more. No organization in the world is going to be satisfied that, okay, one organization, for example, ABC organization is there. They have achieved a profit of 100 CR in the previous year. So this year they have decided that they are not going to increase their expectation or their target or their goal. So they will restrict it to 100 CR only. You will not find example like this. So every organization wants to earn more and more and more profit. So that's the reason why corporate level strategy always talks about revenue. That last year we could earn or we could achieve this much of revenue. Next year we should be achieving more revenue. Now, if we talk about the business level, it talks about or it concentrates under the KPIs or matrix. It talks about market penetration and competitive position. So that's it. We have already discussed that it talks about how we can outperform our competitors, how we can increase our market share. Next one is performance, that also we had discussed, and project completion is under operational level. So whatever task is allocated to the individual employee, the organization here sees to it under the operational level strategy that the employees are completing those targets. If we are talking about research allocation aspect, organization wide resources in terms of machines, in terms of money, in terms of employees are allocated by corporate strategy. Whereas if resource allocation related to business strategy is specific units for a particular branch, how much money is allocated, how much technology or machines are allocated, that is to be covered under business level. And functional level, we have already discussed, it is within the department, and operational is task specific. Now, examples of decisions, new markets and acquisitions are the examples of corporate level strategy, whereas product launches and marketing are the examples of the business level strategy. Budgeting, recruiting are the examples of functional level strategy, whereas scheduling, task, assignments is the are the examples of the operational level strategy. So this was related to the three levels of strategy. Sorry, four levels of strategy, that is corporate, business, functional, and operational. I hope my voice is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anyone who has not understood anything, if you have any doubt, you can directly unmute and you can ask your doubt. Please do not put anything in the chat box. I have already told you yesterday it is not possible. So directly, in case of any query, instead of I asking you for the query, if you have a doubt or you have not understood any concept, you can directly unmute yourself. We have given you that permission. It is not that we have muted you from our side. You can unmute yourself and you can raise your query, and then again you can mute yourself. So if you have any query, please go ahead, or we will move on to the next topic. Okay, so I hope that the four levels of strategy is clear to all. We will now move on to the key characteristics of strategic management. What are the key characteristics? So there we will be discussing about the key characteristics related to performance. So when we talk about the key characteristics of strategic management, The first key characteristics is that it is performance oriented. Performance oriented means you have to perform. So strategy, it is not, strategic management doesn't mean that okay, one the CEO of the organization is very intelligent, he is having 30 years of experience in the area of operation of the organization, so he comes up with a great strategy, excellent strategy, and he passes that strategy to the business level. That is the second level. That is not strategic management. Strategic management talks about preparing strategy, implementing strategy, monitoring strategy, and evaluating strategy. All these 4 points are to be included. Yesterday also we had discussed that one company, that is Tata Motors, came up with two cars, and both their major product, dream project. One was Indica, the other one was Nano. One was successful, the other one was not. Same company, same people, same management who have made that strategy. But when we talk about the success of both the strategies, we came to know that one strategy was very successful, the other one was not. So, strategic management doesn't uh, mean that just preparing strategy. It also includes implementation part, monitoring part, and then evaluation, that whether the strategy was successful or not. If successful, why it was successful? If not successful or if failed, why it failed? The entire process is called as strategic management, and that is why it is said the key characteristic of strategic management is it is performance oriented, it is continuous. Next one, it is ongoing in nature. That is what we had discussed. It is not constant, it is ongoing. We cannot say that okay, we have prepared a strategy, now this strategy will last for next 1 year or maybe 2 year, maybe 3 year or 6 months. We cannot guarantee, because the business environment, the business market is volatile. It may change because of some geopolitical issue, because of some government regulation, anything may happen, because of some natural calamity. So every time the organization has to be ready with the strategy which can tackle that uncertain situation. So that's the reason why it is called as ongoing in nature, then dynamic rather static, that we have just discussed. It is strategic management is oriented to the present and the future. That also we had discussed under the 4 levels of strategy, that it talks about present as well as it talks about future. Under that we had discussed that why the daily performance or daily output of the employees or productivity of the employee is recorded, is measured, or is calculated. The reason is very simple, because then the organization will be in a better position to see to it that whether they are moving in the right direction for achieving the future set goal or not. If most of the employees are unable to increase their output or unable to achieve the standard set by the organization or target set by the organization, we can very easily assume that the organization will not be able to achieve the future goal. So for that, it is oriented to the present as well as to the future. Then it is concerned with conditions both outside and inside the firm. So it is not every time that every time the calamity or uncertain situation is going to come from outside. Sometimes what happens is there can be a problem from within the organization also. Maybe the employees related problem can come up. Maybe the mechanical failure, major mechanical failure may come up. Maybe shortage of say um, quality trainers may be there. Shortage of raw material can be there. Shortage of maintenance staff can be there. So the company has to be ready with all these conditions, that if such situation comes in, how we can overcome that situation as early as possible. Then it is also concerned with performing well and satisfying all stakeholders. Again, very important that strategic management is concerned with performing well and satisfying the stakeholders. Now, who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders are employees, stakeholders are the employer, the person who has started the organization, who has founded that organization. That person is also called as stakeholder. Internal stakeholders, of course, they are the employees of the organization. Then the people who have purchased the shares of the company, they are also called as stakeholders. Now, why strategic management is concerned with performing well? Well, the answer is very simple, and it lies in a very simple concept that whenever we are purchasing shares of the company, the first thing which we check, or normally everyone check, is the progress of the company. Last 1 year progress, last 3 year progress, last 5 year progress, how the company is doing for the last, say, at least 3 years or maybe 5 years. The moment we come to know that last year company did well, but for the last previous 4 years the company was not doing good, we restrict ourselves from purchasing the shares of that particular company. Or when we come to know that last 4 years the performance was great, but last year the company has not done well, again we will restrict ourselves in purchasing the shares of that particular company. So whenever the stakeholders, like the shareholders, whenever they are say um, purchasing the shares of a company, whenever they are investing in the company, they are going to check the performance of the company. And that's the reason we can say that strategic management is always concerned with performing well. You cannot compromise. You cannot show that last 4 years, okay, problem was there, now we have bounced back and now we are earning profit. Continuity has to be there. Next 3 years, at least you have to show to the stakeholders. Then only they are going to purchase your shares. And that is why it is said that strategic management is concerned with performing well always and satisfying the stakeholders. Because why people are going to invest in the company? A very simple reason: they want better return. If they are getting better return, then only they are going to invest. If they are not getting better returns, they will start investing in other company. They are not going to start in your company. That is very simple. So these were some of the key characteristics of the strategic management. Now we will discuss about two key terms. Number one is strategy, and the strategy is the plan you create to achieve goal. A tactic is the action to execute the strategy. I'll give you a very simple example. Now, yesterday also we had discussed the same example I'll be giving you in today's session also, that as a MBA student, if you are planning that at the end of SEM 3, my percentage should be more than 70%. So you have come up with a strategy that I will be studying at least 3 hours every day from day one. From 1st of July, I will be studying every day 3 hours. So that is the strategy which you have prepared. Now, the difference between strategy and tactic is tactic talks about strategy talks about planning, whereas tactics talks about action, actual action every day. Whether you are putting 3 hours in studying, that is called as tactics. So the basic difference between these two terms is strategy is plan, whereas tactics is action. That is the basic difference between the two terms. Now, here again, they have given many examples. Strategies is planning, whereas tactics is always doing. Strategies are large scale, and tactics is a smaller scale. Why strategy is large scale? Over a period of 3 months. Now, for the semester, for example, the semester is for 3 to 4 months. So, for 3 to 4 months, you have prepared a plan. But when you are executing the plan, when actually you are executing, or you are say putting actions into the plan, on daily basis the calculation will be done. So that is why it is said tactics are smaller in scale. Strategy is why, and tactics answers how. Whereas strategy is difficult to copy, tactics is easy to copy. Next is strategies are long time frame, and it is short time frame, that we have already discussed. Next is the strategic management process, which is of 5 steps or 5 stages. It starts with identify goals, then go for SWOT analysis, create a strategy, implement strategy, and evaluate the results. So that is the process of strategic management. So first, it starts with identify the goals for the organization. What is the goal of the organization? Now, when some say 10, 12 years back, when a reporter asked, when Tesla was already introduced in the Western and European market, and when Tesla was doing very good, one company in China has just came up, and the name of the company was BYD. At a program, one of the reporter asked Mr. Elon Musk that, are you worried about the competition which BYD can give to Tesla? BYD was upcoming brand at that particular time, and Tesla was the only market leader 10, 12 years back. At that particular time, Mr. Elon Musk laughed at the question of the reporter that how can you compare my company with a very small Chinese company? Now, at that particular time when BYD started, they had set a goal that they want to be market leader in China within a period of 10 years. And in 15 years, they want to be they wanted to rule the world. So they had set that goal. And now we are aware that who is the market leader. Now it is not Tesla, but it is BYD. BYD has outperformed Tesla because now no one can be in a, say, a very casual or very relaxed position. Okay, my company is one of the top company in the world. No competitor is near me, so I should sit and relax. The moment that thinking is there, that is the start of your say down, and immediately the company, your company, is overtaken by some other company. The best example is Nokia. Nokia was world leader, world market leader. Not for 1 year, not for 2 years, it was there. It would ruled the world more than 20 years. Every year, Nokia used to outperform the other operators. None in the world could compete with Nokia. And the moment they thought that for so many years we are the market leaders, no one can compete us, then came the Korean and Chinese and other American companies. And now we do not see Nokia anywhere. So when we are talking about strategic management process, it involves 5 steps, but all the 5 steps are continuous in nature. Continuous means you cannot sit and relax that okay, now this is a strategy, this is going to be there for next 5 years, so I should be relaxed, no need to start thinking of new strategy. So that is not a strategic management process. So first, the organization has to identify goal for itself, that what should be the goal of the organization. Again, what should be the short term goal, what should be the medium range goal, what should be the long goal, or the higher goal of the organization. So that is to be decided under identifying goals. Then comes SWOT analysis, that the remaining 4 steps for the strategic management process we will be discussing in tomorrow's session, as well as we will also be talking about the company and the internal and external stakeholders. And we will also be talking about responsibilities of stakeholders. And if the time permit, we will also talk about what is strategic intent. So thank you everyone for being present in today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.